Welcome to another exciting episode in the channel. Today we are going to discuss the reason why you need to check your Express Entry profile to ensure that all you have is up to date. This is highly important with the recently launched new program in the Express Entry, which is the category-based Express Entry. So we now know that very soon the IRCC will be conducting draws based on occupations. So what that means is that the occupation you selected when you created your profile, when they eventually do any of this draw that is based on category, if yours is chosen based on the one recommended by the minister, you will be called to apply for PR. And that means in 6 months' time, you'll be landing in Canada if every other thing remains constant. But for you to be sure that you have this available, you need to keep your profile in that portal current. So what are the things you need to check that they are still current? The very first thing you need to do is to check if your profile is still very active. Well, for many persons, their profile may have lapsed due to not taking care of it. Some will find out that documents inside that profile are no longer useful. Now let's look at this document one after the other that you need to check in your Express Entry profile to keep it current. The first one we will talk about is your international passport. Is your international passport still current? Does it still have years in it? Unfortunately, some people's passport in the Express Entry profile is now expired. And what that means is that if there is a draw that is conducted, you will not be called because of an expired document. So to do yourself the favor, why not check your profile? See if your international passport is still current. And if it is not, then take the necessary best step by applying for a renewal of your passport. And once you've done that, update that in the Express Entry profile. The next one is your language test. We all know that the language test has validity dates and they have just 2 years validity. So from the date you receive your results, 2 years after that date, it expires. So if you check your profile, if yours is less than 2 months, it will be nice if you can just take that test again and aim for high score, just like you did when you created your profile. Ensure that you have a current language test in it. The next thing we'll talk about is your NOC occupation list that you select. For this year, we've known that about 6 different categories is the focus for the occupation-based draw. And that is STEM, which is science, technology. You have construction, you have trades, you have healthcare. So ensure that you are picking one of your occupation. That is, if you have one, pick them and make it recent in your profile. That will ensure that you get invited in the very next draw. These are crucial. If you do not make your profile current, the draws will just be passing you by and you'll be thinking that, oh, you are not qualified. But in reality, it's just a document that has lapsed, a document that is expired, that is still sitting inside your profile. If you want to create an Express Entry profile, you know for sure you should be about 30 or from 25 to 35 years because it gives you point for age. So once you've done that, you only need to score 67 points for any of the category mentioned, be it the Federal Skilled Workers, the Federal Skilled Trade, and the Canadian Experience class. Once you are able to score 67, you are fine. Then you can select any of those NOC lists that we are talking about that is being put into the pool that will be called at any time. But what if you are not qualified for Express Entry? Does that mean that you cannot immigrate to Canada? The answer is no. If you found value so far hit the notification bell, subscribe to the channel so that at least it's a form of encouragement that we continue to build this channel so that much more other persons will get this kind of information that we are giving out. So go ahead, subscribe to the channel now and share this video to so many people so that we can beat the algorithm. We can ensure that many more persons get into this. Now back to that question. If you do not qualify for express entry, are there other routes that you can use? Sure. There are so many routes. In fact, the government of Canada, the immigration system, the different routes to come into Canada is more than 100 routes. So you can definitely pick and choose, customize one to meet your need. Best of all, there is what they call the PNP. So the Provincial Nominee Program is another class for those people who are not qualified to go through the express entry route. It's actually the route that I use to come over to Canada. There are so many PNPs to choose from. You have the SNIP, which is Saskatchewan Immigration Nominee Program. You have the Ontario Provincial Nominee Program. You have Nova Scotia Nominee Program. You have Prince Edward. And visually, the 10 provinces and 3 territories have their own PNP program that you can pick from. If you have questions based on what we've discussed so far, submit them in the comment section, share this video. And if you want to find out if you are eligible to use the Provincial Nominee Program, I am going to drop the eligibility link for you to check whether you can use the express entry route. Thank you so much for being there, watching this video, and I will see you in the next video.